It's time to turn your life-challenging moments into life-changing messages. Welcome to the Power Lift Stories podcast, where we are interviewing women whose stories will leave you lifted up, fired up, and fueled up with hope, courage, and inspiration. We want to thank our sponsor, Powerful Journey, who helps women tell their stories, write their books, and building a profitable brand around both. Join the masterclass or the Speakers Academy at phyllisjenkins.com. That is PHYLLISJENKINS.com. Now here's your host, Phyllis Jenkins.
Hello to everyone, and I hope you're enjoying this beautiful day wherever you are. I am truly excited today to have another very special guest who is doing some amazing things. So I am going to introduce to you Venezuela Williams. Welcome, Venezuela.
Thank you so much, Miss Jenkins. I appreciate it. I'm humbled to be here with you today.
Humbled to have you, honored to have you. And I'm going to introduce you, and I'm going to read this elaborate intro that I have here. But as I do, I'm going to interject some things because I know a little about you. Okay, so Venezuela is a country girl from Greenwood, Louisiana. I'm going to stop right there. For those of you who don't know where Greenwood, Louisiana is, it is right outside of Shreveport, Louisiana. And I must say, Venezuela, we have some people in common. Your grandmother is my mother's best friend, and then your aunt Ivy is one of my best friends. So we grew up. Your aunt and I grew up together, and so how blessed am I to have you on today? Venezuela graduated not from one, but from two HBCUs, which are historically Black college university. She graduated from Wiley College with a BBA in organizational management with concentration in human resources and an AAS in science from Southern University. I better not mess that one up. My daughter is a graduate and her husband of Southern University. Venezuela is a wife, a mother, a sister, a trusted friend to many, and a two-time author. Congratulations on that. And I know that you have a new book coming out soon, so we can talk about that as well. She has a proven background from traveling all over the Midwest South region, coaching, developing, leading, and supporting people, leaders, crafting strategic plans through branding and creating trustworthy relationships with her authentic approach to driving a successful team and collaboration. That's that country girl coming out there with those relationships. We love our friendships and our relationships. That is absolutely wonderful. Venezuela has served on various boards and community ambassadorships, and she was nominated as one of top 40 under 40 in Northwest Louisiana professionals. She has a passion for assisting others with nurturing their own narrative through conducting self-reflection sessions, coaching, consulting, and both personal and professional. And Venezuela, I know there's some things that I didn't mention. So if there's something that you want to add, please do.
That was a mouthful, and thank you so much for sharing. I think the greatest asset that I have is I'm a mother of two beautiful daughters, Autumn and Shelby. And so I just see myself emulated through them because of what I taught them when they were little girls. And so I'm excited about their journeys. Autumn is already thriving in the workforce, and Shelby is about to graduate from high school. So I'm excited about her.
Congratulations.
And she will be following my footsteps and going to HBCU as well.
Wonderful. That is great. And I love their names. So absolutely wonderful. Well, we're going to jump into the interview. And I want to start by asking you, before you share your life-changing message, if you had to give it a title, what title would you give it?
So definitely, I think the roots that has grounded me is resilience. That is my word. And so, as you said in my introduction, just being that small town country girl, making it in a big city, I saw my mother. She had 5 children. She grew up as a single parent, and we really didn't have much. But I saw her, my mother, my grandparents, for sure, just providing for us, just from little things, right, from nothing. And so it was all about the needs versus wants, right? And we hear that all the time. They provided what we needed, not necessarily what we asked for, but it's what we needed. And so we received those things, and those are the seeds now that I drop to my daughters, showing them it's all about the needs, and those wants will come through God's grace.
That is great. That's great. Well, with that beautifully said, giving us your subject, your title of your life-changing message, would you please share that message with us?
Oh, absolutely. So definitely lots of challenges, right? Both personally and professionally. So I'll toggle to the professional side first. Definitely being in organizations, for me, being from a HBCU, a Black woman, with my assertiveness, and even my tone, right? And so I saw that I was changing who I was, or my tone, just to fit whoever I was talking with. And God told me one day, he literally said, "You have a platform, use what I gave you." And so it took me by surprise because I didn't know what he was talking about, right? I've done this all throughout the organization for over decades. And so now I'm using those platforms, social media platforms, to really be able to help others change their lives because of what I've seen. And so deeply rooted in what HR is all about, just really being able to help others. I lost my grandfather 2 years ago, and it really took a chamber from my heart. It really, truly did. But I will tell you, I reached deep into those roots and really found out what can I do to start sharing with others. And that's what helped me create the planner that I did, the ABC Legacy Planner. Always giving praises to God for what he's given you, right? Those needs versus the wants.
Yes.
And really being thankful. I think we got a lot to be thankful for. 2020 threw us so many different obstacles, right? And we were able to pivot and really to be able to change and use what we learned from 2020 to help us grow even for 2021. And then the last one, just really being able to celebrate who we are. And we've got to do that. Think about what we're doing right now. We've got to celebrate who we are and whose we are, right? So that we can be able to share that message with others.
Absolutely. And our message, I say it over and over, is not for us. It is to go out into the world to change lives. And with your challenges, I'm sure that you've seen God work in some miraculous ways. And he has a way of showing himself throughout our experiences. Can you just share how God has shown himself throughout your life experiences?
Absolutely. So, I will tell you, he always comforts us, right? And so from a professional standpoint, I was told one day that, you know what, you will never be in that role. And I was like, okay. So I really took a step back and listened and really learned and apply what they said, and really was able to pivot. But I went to God and said, what does that mean? And he said, you know what? I am the King of all kings.
Yes.
I hold a position. So don't worry about the position. I am placing you in the platform that you have and the voice that you have to authentically help people nurture their own narratives, whether it's in the workplace or their professional lives where they're trying to brand things. And so, he reminded me that he has the position to change everything. And I just saw things just flourish right in the midst. And I was the mold that helped others get to where they're at today. And so I'm just thankful that he handpicked me to share the messages that I have to share with others. And so that's where I've got to make sure that I continue to do that to others outside in the world. And so that's what he did for me. And it changed my outlook. It changed how I go and show up, whether that's at work, whether that's in my personal life, whether that's helping my other friends. But I was able to do that based on that conversation that I had. And you know what? It doesn't matter about the position. I have the position because I am his daughter.
Yes, absolutely. And I just want to say that we on this side are reaping the benefits of you being obedient to his call and his assignment for you, and you moving forward with it as beautifully and as you have. So many lives have been touched and will continue to be touched. Can you talk a little bit more about the ABC Legacy journal that you have published?
Yes, absolutely. Again, like I said, it came from just me on the weekends. We always did Bible study. My great aunt, we would run up to her house as little kids. And I remember doing that. She would pull up the Bible and we would just talk through things. And I remember that. And so I put that in there, just some inserts. You have to be intentional about your time that you spend with him. And really be intentional about the word so that they can be able to help you, right? And so with that, I created some things that he talked about, really always giving praises. So how do you give praise? What does that look like? And I think that comes from the legacy, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, even your parents. What is that, those scriptures? What are those things that you can create and pass down to your children? And so that's what I've been doing to my girls. And it fills me up when I see and hear them talk about things that they do. Because always as a parent, even as a mother, right, you want to make sure that you're doing the right things for your children. And when I hear them talk and how they act and even how they respond to each other, because Autumn is all the way in Alabama and Shelby is here with us here in Dallas. And the way how they talk and communicate with each other, it just signifies what my grandfather instilled in me, and now I'm instilling in my children. And I hopefully one day they'll be able to instill that in their children and their children's children. So the planner is all about, you can find it on Amazon. It's all about really connecting yourself with how do you give praises, how do you celebrate, and how do you be thankful for what you have. I think we all, like I said, we have a lot to be thankful for. And so we got to be able to utilize that. And so it's a journal, it's a planner to be able to at least help you with those 10 steps to be able to get you to where you need to be with that legacy. It also talks in there about, going to college and being able to save for your children and even life insurance policies. So I talk a lot about in there, and it really gives you that strategic outline. Hey, here's where I need to start. And if anybody that purchases the planner, if they still have some help, definitely they can go to my website and I'll do some one-on-one coaching with them just to kind of help them with that. So that's what it's all about. And I've got to be able to share that with others so that they can be able to thrive in their households like I have.
That is wonderful. So again, the journal is on Amazon, and you have another book as well. Let's go on and discuss it.
Yes, I do. It's coming up. It's an anthology with over a dozen other women. And it's called The Journey of Sisterhood to Purpose. And I am so excited. In there, I do talk about resilience and what I saw in my mother. And so you'll see that I have a couple other key things, and I won't share those, so you can go out there and purchase the book. But I'm excited about the anthology because it's going to really change lives. All of the stories from the other amazing women that they talk about what they had to endure and how they had to get through those things, the journeyhood of purpose. And so it's going to be out there on Amazon pretty soon, and hopefully it'll be a best-selling author. So
Wonderful. I'm so excited. And you mentioned your grandfather, who was just an amazing, godly man. And I just know that he is cheering you on from heaven, just saying, that's my girl, that's my granddaughter, go on.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
excited. Well, I mentioned at the beginning, you're doing some great things, helping to change and impact the lives of so many people. I want to close by asking you one more question.
Okay.
And I want you to imagine that you just stood on stage and you have an audience full of women from as far as you can see. There's floods and floods of women, and you've just finished sharing your life-changing message. They stood and gave you a standing ovation, but now they have turned to go to their vehicles. The curtains have closed, and Venezuela Williams is also preparing to leave to return to your vehicle. What are three key points that you hope every woman walked away with?
Absolutely. I think the first would be just really listen, learn, apply, and really be able to pivot, right? So you're listening to God or whoever you serve, right? But it's all about listening and truly, truly listening, because you got to listen in order to get those directions, right? And really learn from what you're listening from. Write it down, apply it to a journal, apply it to a notebook, wherever you're at, right? And then be able to pivot. So you got to learn as much as you can, apply it to your purpose, and pivot always. Think about 2020. We had to pivot so much. And so you got to be able to
Yes.
pivot. If we didn't learn anything, we were able to pivot last year. And so I think we got to continue to pivot. Once you have done with that, you got to tell your story. You got to nurture your own narrative. And that's what it's all about. You got to be authentic and tell people who you are, whose you are, and what you're going to do to impact them. The second thing I would say, you definitely have to let go of toxic people, places, and things. Toxicity is liability, right? And liability where you can't even get to your next because you're still holding on to those toxic things. And so your future really relies on your self-care. And there's self-care, whatever that may be. Maybe it's going to get your nails done or get a pedicure, or maybe it's just, spending your time going into your closet, spending your time with God, whatever that may be. But you got to be intentional, right? You got to be intentional about who you have in your corner, your family, your friends, even your coworkers, because sometimes those things will get to you, right? And have that toxic things that's going to happen in your life. And so whoever you're with, it should be relevant to your next, right? They're going to be the ones that's going to be there with you to power lift you to that next spot, right?
Yes.
That's what it's all about. And then thirdly, I would say just break the concrete ceiling, right? We hear about breaking the glass ceiling. I say break that concrete ceiling because it is there. Sometimes taking a step back, it's okay, because that's your step back for your next, right? For your next step forward. You got to be grateful for the process, because you never know how God is using you in your troubles to comfort others, because that's what it's all about. You may be going through something right now. It's there to help you, to help others, because he comforts us so that we can be able to comfort others. He really, truly does. I know that he does. And he is revealing the next for whoever is that is out there listening. He is revealing your next, whatever that is. Listen to what he's saying. Stop, really listen and learn what he's revealing to you. He has already given you the weapon. You just got to be able to use it. And I know that you'll be able to do that and to your next.
Amen. Amen. Absolutely love that. And what a phenomenal young woman you are. My prayer is that God will continue to bless you and to give you more and more opportunities to shine for him and to bring glory to him as you are helping more and more and more people.
Absolutely.
Venezuela Williams, thank you so much for being here today. To our listeners, If you want to get her book or books on Amazon, and if you want to find out more about her services, Venezuela, would you please share your website?
Absolutely. So my website is VenezuelaWilliams.com, and it's Venezuela just like the country, VenezuelaWilliams.com. I am on Instagram as well at Venezuela_vault, and on Facebook as the same. I do have the ABC Legacy Planner on Amazon and Facebook as well. And I am on LinkedIn. If anybody knows about LinkedIn, it is a professional site, and there's Venezuela Williams on there as well. And so I look forward to connecting with others and being able to really help them grow in their future endeavors. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You are welcome into our Powerful Journey community. You've heard it, and I just say go out there, connect with Venezuela, give her your support, and then tell others about her as well and the great work that she is doing. Speaking of books, if you are wanting to write a book in 2021, the Powerful Journey Authors Academy is now open. You are welcome to come and enroll and write that book that's inside of you. Release that book, write it, get it published in 2021. You can go to phyllisjenkins.com and register. We are also excited that our annual Powerful Journey Women's Conference is right around the corner. It is a 2-day conference this year, and it is virtual as well as in person. The dates, April 16th and 17th. And again, you can register at phyllisjenkins.com, but we'll have the links in the show notes as well. And if you have any other questions about the Powerful Journey organization, just let us know. Or if you would like to come on the Power Lift Stories podcast and share your life-changing message, just send me a message in my inbox and I will reach out to you. Again, have a marvelous day. Today is Dr. Martin Luther King's Day, and so we honor the legacy of Dr. King and all that he did for peace and for justice for all of us. So again, Venezuela, thank you for being here. To our listeners, we thank you for being here, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.
Thank you for joining us today. If you are interested in being on the show, go to phyllisjenkins.com. You can also sign up for the Powerful Journey Masterclass or the Speakers Academy at phyllisjenkins.com.